All right, so let's talk about autobiographies. And I know what you're thinking. Dusty old books, right? Well, forget that. We're going to break this whole thing down and show you how it's actually way more creative and way more relevant to your life than you might think. No, seriously, just for a second, how would you tell your life story? I mean, would it be like your Instagram feed, just the highlight reel? Or maybe a super raw, unfiltered diary? The thing is, we're all doing this, all the time, in a million little ways. And that impulse, that need to frame our own narrative, that's really the heart of what an autobiography is. It all comes down to one simple but totally crucial difference from any other kind of life story. Think of it as the ultimate self-portrait. So here's the breakdown side by side. A biography, that's when someone else writes about a person's life. They're an outsider looking in. But an autobiography, well, that's when the person tells their own story. It's the complete insider's perspective. Okay, so what makes that one little difference so incredibly powerful? Well, the clue is actually hidden right there in the word itself. It all comes down to this one tiny little prefix, auto. It comes from the Greek word for self, and that one little word, it changes everything. I mean, it's the difference between just observing a life from the outside and actually living it. It puts all the power of the story right into the hands of the person who lived it. Okay, and this is where the whole concept gets really fun. This is where we start to push the boundaries of what a self can even be. Because, I mean, who says the narrator has to be human? Yeah, this idea basically flips the whole genre on its head. It's like this amazing creative exercise in empathy, right? It asks you to imagine a life story from a completely different point of view, like an animal, or even just some random object that sees the world in a way we literally can't. I know. It sounds a little weird at first, like a horse. But really think about it. What would a horse's life story even sound like? What would it think are the most important moments? What would its very first memory be? And boom, this illustrates the idea perfectly. All of a sudden, we're inside the mind of a horse, hearing about its totally carefree childhood. It's not about, big human achievements or anything. It's just about the simple joy of running around in a field. It completely forces you into a new perspective. Okay, let's push this even further. What about a coin? I mean, an object we see every single day, something we just assume has zero story to tell. But what if that one coin could tell us about all the hands it's passed through, the deals it's sealed, all the history it has seen? And this is the crucial point right here. An autobiography isn't just about listing facts. It's this incredibly powerful tool for your imagination. It lets us step completely outside of ourselves and see the world from perspectives we would never, ever consider otherwise. So whether your narrator is a person, a horse, or even a coin, a really good story doesn't just happen. It's crafted. So let's take a look at how you actually build that story. Pretty much every great story, whether it's true or totally imagined, follows a similar kind of path. First, you've got to plan your plot, the big moments that really define the story. Then you fill in all the details that make that world come alive. Super important, you have to write in your own words, your own voice to make it all feel real. And finally, you build everything towards a strong conclusion that makes the whole journey feel like it mattered. And this is so key. Good storytelling, it's not about making stuff up or just listing a bunch of random events. It's a craft. It's all about arranging the main points, using your imagination to fill in the details, and building everything towards a conclusion that really hits home. So when you get right down to it, an autobiography isn't just some dusty old genre you find on a library shelf. It's really an invitation. It's a challenge to your own creativity, a challenge to see the world differently, and maybe, just maybe, to see your own story in a whole new light. So if a coin can have a whole life story, what about an object on your desk right now? I mean, really think about it. Your laptop, your favorite coffee mug, the headphones you're probably wearing. They've been with you through a lot. If they could talk, what story would they tell?